What's up, y'all? It's TTC, aka the ThunderConductor, and we back for another YouTube video and Twitch stream. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And if you're on Twitch, make sure you follow and ring the bell. We do this once a week on YouTube and every other week on Twitch. So I got a question for y'all. Now with the new ban list, what commander do y'all feel will be taking over the new cEDH meta? We're gonna have some people who's already been saying, come on, y'all, Urza's been slept on, mono blue baby. It's like all the artifacts that were hurting it because of the dark side. Now you're gonna have folks coming in saying, nah, now we're gonna have all the stacks, we're gonna slow down the meta. Some people gonna say, come on, Kennen baby. Like, all right, it hurts to lose J-Lo, it hurts to lose Mana Crypt, but Kennen really never needed any of those cards to be broken. So come on, like, it's Kennen. Now, there is a group of people that are saying, yo, Blue Farm, Rockside, they never lost a step. Okay, it hurts post ad-nons, no color filtering. It hurts no early Crom, but at the end of the day, the decks are still busted. And plus, when you kick out Nadu and the other top, and also the J-Lo for Tivit, come on, Blue Farm, Rockside, they run the show. But I want to talk about something different that not many people have touched on. They brought up Esper, but I ain't been hearing nobody talk about Marnie and Scalper. Come on now. Y'all don't know about my little stint back in January, taking this to top 4, and it was a lot of fun. But I really think that and really believe that Marty's Calgar in this new meta that we're possibly entering, keyword possibly, really has a place for it. Now, before I get into why I think Marty's Calgar is about to take over the meta, I want to address the elephant in the room. These new bans, yo, like, I will let you all know. You all know I'm a brewer. You know I love cEDH so much. And I'm just going to kind of state everything. I've read this ban announcement. They recently banned Dockside Extortionist, Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, Nadu Winged Wisdom. Starting from top to, I'll start bottom to top because I can't start at the top because y'all know I love me some red. But Nadu Winged Wisdom, I've been saying this ever since I saw it. I never personally enjoyed the play patterns Nadu created. But as a community, I'm so proud of us for how we adapted to it. We didn't shit on the players. We didn't tell them like, yo, you can't play Nadu. We say, hey, look, they want to play their commander. Let them play the commander. We have to figure out how to adapt to this powerhouse. And we did an amazing job. Not just me. A lot of pilots really knew, okay, Nadu's in the pod. All right, got to make sure I have these pieces in my opening 7, whether it's a turn 1 wheel to disrupt the table, whether it's making sure I have at least one piece of interaction to make sure I spot remove not the Nadu, the tap effect or the target effect, whether it's a Fatal Alchemist. We did an amazing job. And to see it go, I will not say that I'm not angry, but at the same time, I ain't gonna cap. Like, there are people who love that deck, and I'm not happy to say that people who invested money, time, and energy to make this deck viable, I'm not happy for their loss. But at the same time, I never really truly enjoyed the play patterns it created. I tell people, I'm like, yo, it had the Niv Mizzet or the Croc Sakashima effect without needing to have to commit 6 mana to the board, and it had the ability to ramp it back in. But on the flip side, I was talking to one of my homies last night, and he said, really why we need more commanders like Nadu was because right now partner commanders were really still just a dominating force, and you need to print busted commanders like Nadu to, on the flip side, get people to maybe not just play partners all the time. And I thought that was a really fair thing. So after seeing this Nadu ban, of course, I'm really in the school of thought where it doesn't hurt me personally, and I'm not crying over it, but I will say flowers to y'all who put the energy into it. I really met some great Nadu pilots. It's not really for me, but I'm not sad to see this commander go. When it comes to the next one, I'm going to skip over the next one and just go to Jeweled Lotus. This one does not make sense. And I'm just going to group these together. Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt, I respect trying to slow down the meta, and I'll kind of get to the one, like my points I was going to bring up earlier. These bans were not made for cEDH. These were made for EDH, and this is kind of, it's that unfortunate thing we just realized, like, I respect trying to slow down the meta, like trying to slow down the meta or just trying to slow down the format as a whole. I just feel like you really, this could have been executed a lot better, so much better. And when after really just talking to some people about it, seeing some point of views about it, at first I was like, all right, y'all do what you want to do. It is what it is. Y'all know, like, shout out to ThunderConductor Proxies. I create most of my proxies and supply most of my community and my homies with proxies. So I wasn't personally hurt financially, but then I'm seeing that apparently Wizards of the Coast was pushing out these promo versions where thank you for the follow. Wizards of the Coast was pushing out these promos, was pushing out these expensive versions of these cards, and I'm looking like, yo, this isn't good, y'all. Like, this isn't Wizards' fault. This is the Commander RC. This is them. They decided this is what they want to do with their format that they feel like they can just not completely talk about an extremely growing sector and think about like the cEDH format, which is a growing sector within their community, bringing in tens of thousands of dollars in prize pools and all these things. But when you see what apparently, and there's a lot of hearsay, but apparently the rules committee had been thinking about this for about over a year. So then it makes us look back at the company. I'm like, yo, you saying that you have representatives on the rules committee who knew that these cards were on the high watch list, never talked to the people, and just we were allowed to spend all this money. Now, once again, I didn't invest hundreds to thousands of dollars, nor am I directly part of the pool of community of players that lost millions of dollars across these cards that just evaporated, snap a finger, it's all gone. But when you think about that, it really is a loss of trust, and it's sad because we know we're in the capitalist country. We know it's all about the money, but it was like, yo, like it hurts. And I have to say this directly to Wizards, even though you may have not made the final choice to ban these cards, you made the choice to print these cards. You made the choice to put these cards out. You made the choice to put these expensive versions of the cards out. And thank you for the follow, brother. Like, that's not what that just, it doesn't put a good feeling in my heart. I've had a lot of people say we lost trust. Why should I invest money into the game? And I've also heard some people say, oh, Magic is not about the investment. It should be about the gameplay. When did Magic become an investment company? Like, the fact the cards were being sold for this much, but it's not about all that. Like, if you didn't put money down, it is what it is. This is not about you. But the fact that these cards are being sold and being resold for that much money, it makes you have to look at Wizards and hold them accountable. So though I'm not going to say, is this Wizards' fault? No, this is on the rules committee. This is on the Commander RC. That was their choice. Financially, though, yes, Wizards, you got, bro, take a second and realize what you're doing to the community and how this makes you look by you enabling. And it's like, it'd be one thing if they just threw y'all on there and it's like, but that's not what happened. Y'all sold these cards, singular cards, $500-$600 being resold, and you allowed this to happen knowing the likelihood that they would ban. And for me, that's just not something I could it's not a good feeling. But it's something that I'm very interested to hear Wizards' side before I fully want to bash Wizards. Because I'm not here to bash any individuals or any institutions. Come on, put your side out. Like, you put the ban announcement on there. You're seeing the backlash. Come on, let's talk to us. What's up? Put an announcement out when the Nadu thing, you said it was a mistake. So let us know what's up. So another thing I'll bring up, we know about the Mana Crypt, Jewel Lotus, but the very big one, Dockside. This one, I've heard people say this hurts. This is the painful thing for me. Initially, this was painful. If you're not aware, I just had hours before I was planning on dropping my Satya deck tech. I literally saw this ban and I'm like, you have crushed 50% of my deck, and honestly, probably about 50% or more of the cEDH meta. And my thing is, at the end of the day, I'm just like, I understand the card is powerful, but we can let's go to context. Let's go to context when they bring up Dockside Extortions. Dockside isn't normally quite as explosive in the early game as the two other cards, but it can still go mana positive on turn 2 and start generating substantial treasures after that. It's been on the border for years, and we've shielded away from acting in the past because this card is scaled well with the power level of the table, but it's a frequent contributor to the most egregious snowballing starts. Okay. For me, maybe I'm reading this backwards, but you just started off by saying Dockside's not as big as a problem. It can maybe net positive start in turn 2. But if you're doing these bans for the EDH community, you know these tables, they're not pushing out rocks like cEDH is. So my thing is, I know Jim and everybody put out the statements and saying yo, they're not this is not pointing on cEDH. These are just things we've been thinking about for a while. But like, if you're saying if the problem is about early starts, and then you go dockside is not really quite the explosive in early game, so then pick a poison. I'm like, why are we just like it's hard to not feel picked on when you say we're trying to stop early starts, but then you follow that up by saying, yo, like, yeah, it's not that crazy early starts, but it can allow crazy things late game. I'm like, I hear you, but it's just, it feels backwards. Even when they go in to talk about Soul Ring, and I'm look, you can read all this section when it talks about Soul Ring, how it's like it feels like you're cherry picking what is good and what is not. And I'm gonna tell you my conspiracy theory about Soul Ring. I said this to somebody yesterday. They could not ban Soul Ring. It's not just about the fact that you would be banning like literally every precon ever printed and that ever will be printed, because we know they create these decks a year in advance. The real thing that is happening here is that at the end of the day, I feel like Wizards put that line of saying like, you can't, like, look, we'll take your Mana Crypt, J-Lo, Dockside, Nadu, but you cannot ban Soul Ring, because that's the money maker, bro. Like that's like, it's not even about the chase card. I understand it's the staple of the format. We felt like Mana Crypt and J-Lo were the staple of the format. It's more the fact, I don't think Wizards was about to slide for that. But to stay on topic with the rock side, I'm not saying that it was a fair card, but because it was unfair is what made it fun. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's tough to hear that the rules committee is telling us to, communicate rule zero, all that other cool stuff, and then to follow that right up to just ban a card that they said in the first sentence, Dockside isn't normally quite as explosive in the early game. It is in cEDH, but not EDH. I understand. I just feel like it's really tough to remove that win con, because you crush a lot of win cons. You crushed a lot of decks that leverage that, and so I love to hear what y'all have to say about these. These are not bans that I agree with. They're not bans that I think has cEDH in the best of mind. And I think when I think about the biggest things, like is this Wizards as far as the RC fault? At the end of the day, these were decisions made, and with these decisions in mind, this is how TTC plans on moving forward for the immediate future. I do not plan on updating my red list in the immediate future. I will not be updating my Reunion list. I will not be updating my Satya list. Not because it's not about the anger at the ban list. It's more about, hey, we were not kept in mind. What decisions are going to keep being made that don't keep the cEDH community in mind? With that being said, I think that cEDH needs to detach from EDH, because it's clear that we're not being taken and kept in mind when it comes to the format. With that being said, though, for the cEDH players who are looking to keep playing and looking to explore, there's a flow in everything. I'm not updating my red decks immediately, but at the same time, enjoy this new meta. We're about to talk about Marnies. I said, you know what? I talked to one of my homeboys early days. He said, he took the words out of my mouth. He said, T, I don't love this meta, but at the same time, I've never been so excited to brew. And I can't lie and say that losing Dockside, though it hurt my red decks, it kind of allowed, it let my Esper decks and my other decks to see this new light, like, oh my gosh, I can play these so differently. There's so many new things that I haven't had time to think about. So even though it hurts to lose red decks, it allows me to open my heart to, let's try this new meta out. I can never knock something until I try it. So I'm gonna try this new meta out, let me figure it out. But when it comes down to it, what I truly think is gonna happen is that there will be a cEDH rules committee, and I'm not gonna completely bend to conform and just shut down all the hard work I put into my red list, just to shift to something that I really don't think will last. I think they need to take their time, but I do think that the cEDH rules committee will be eventually a thing, and I look forward to playing my Reunion Satya list in that meta and however they form that. And I'm excited about this. I think this is a time of joy and at the same time a time of loss. I think this is so fun because as a brewer, I love the challenge. At the same time, as a brewer, it really hurts. And it's okay to feel how we feel. Let's continue to I've seen some really good jobs, people that's communicating well how they feel about it. And at the end of the day, that's really what I should think. Like I said, I'm not updating my red list immediately, but
non-red, we about to have a ball. Go cap. Like, I'm interested to see what Urza do. I'm interested to see like how does Rock side. I know it's gonna be fast, like, but does losing that consistent turn one wheel gonna be a thing? But when they have cards that you just sack Rod, make 3 mana, did you really even lose the turn one wheel? Not really. So I'm interested to see what this meta is like. I think this is a great like testing pool for like if for the cEDH rules committee when they come out. I'm not saying if, but I really do believe when they come out, this is going to be so dope for them to be able to leverage this data that they get from these, whether it's in a few events or just in their own experience. Like, hey, maybe taking Dockside out wasn't the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't love it, but if we learn that it's the biggest thing, you can always learn something from your experiences. That's dope. So we'll see what happens from this, and this is cool. But like I said, for the just repeat it one more time, TDC is not updating his red list immediately. I do believe that a cEDH rules committee will come up. We are not being thought about. If these bans were being done for cEDH, or if we were not even mentioned one time, these are not for us. And at the end of the day, we are going to have a rules committee. But while we're waiting for that rules committee to take their time and execute things a lot better than the last one was attempted to, let's just have fun.
We're playing the game. Let's have fun. Let's explore and let's see what happens next. But before I move into this Marnia's full deck tech, I do want to take some time to check out some replies because we got some dope feedback, some awesome dudes. So we got Brainwave saying 4 out of 5 decks of mine got Hose, Itali, Kenrith, Corvold, Porkovold, and Thrasios Bruce. I'm over it. We're moving on. Made Kennen and Agila today. Awesome. Ooh, I'm interested on Agila because of loss of the JLo, but maybe you're going more beats or stacks. I heard that some people have done stacks in Agila, and it's a viable thing because you have a way to turn the corner with the Agila swingers. I'm going to check out Yuriko as well. I've heard good things about Yuriko. Got to keep a full clip. Also Magda deck straight chilling. Okay, I can hear that only because it's a 2-mana commander. Like, losing Dockside is huge because now I feel like I do hear you there. I think Magda will be fine because you have the treasure generator in the command zone, but I don't think they can just do like they do and just keep shoving it out, because now that you lost Dockside and you even lost JLo and Mana Crypt, now it's not as easy just to say you kill my Magda, I recast it. You kill my Magda, I recast it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's going to be a thing where they're going to maybe set up a board state, whether it be with stacks or with dwarves, cast the Magda and then shoot out the treasures immediately. And you either have to deal with the Magda right then and there, or we'll see what happens. Let's see. We got Bad Joke saying Magda, what's Magda without JLo? Still a turn 1 commander, I agree. Similar, Mox still chilling, man. I'm telling you, maybe even better. Never needed Dockside to win. That's fair. I think like Dockside was like a super enabler for Magda. It wasn't just like the cherry on top per se, but it was more of like okay, in addition to all this really like broken things that we're doing, cheating out artifacts, cheating out dragons, we can also just win like this on the spot. So that's good. That's fair. Let's see. Oh, they're being silly. Okay. The coping, we have bad joke saying the coping by quitting by many is very real, and that's an awful way to putting it, considering the real money spent pre-ban to get Crypts and Lotuses. That's real. Like, this doesn't make Wizards of the Coast look good. And so I want to see if they release a statement, what they going to say. I just got to hear their side. I'm not going to blame them for the bans, but you can't, like, y'all have reps from Wizards on the rules committee. So you can't, like, nobody talked. The rules committee just said last week, hey, this is what we doing, and they just kept it to themselves like this entire past year. So correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe if I misread what I wrote, what I read off Jim's message, but what it looks like they've been thinking about this for a while, and they just finally pulled the trigger. So then you saying Wizards had no idea? Like, that's interesting. I agree. I'm generally looking forward to seeing some different texts as well. Bad jokes, I am as well. Guy says, I was initially salty about mainly losing Dockside, but after having a few conversations, our podcast yesterday, y'all check out Guy's podcast. I will make sure to actually, let's see, let me quickly I will quickly, y'all go shout, let me go find my guy's podcast. I have to find this because it was a very good discussion. I listened to the entire 45 minutes. Fuck low attention spans. It was very well said, very well. Everything was broken down well. Where's my guy? Yeah. Y'all check out Double Sleeved MTG. Let's click it. I want y'all to go check out this video. Shout out to Double Sleeved MTG. Awesome conversation. Can't go into the full breakdown of it right now, but I will tell you these guys have a very healthy and just straight up conversation about where they think the metas go, and they brought up some really amazing points. So please, y'all, go support Double Sleeved MTG. But after having a few conversations on our podcast yesterday, I'm neutral about it. It does suck to lose Dockside Extortionist, but that also means old decks like Urza and cEDH can make a comeback. I need to remember what cEDH is. Oh my gosh. Let's see. cEDH. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it's tough to do enchantment tribal when you are against the Dockside. If you're not familiar with cEDH harvest hand. Green and white legendary enchantment creature nymph. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw 1 card. I've actually seen some really lethal brews. I actually haven't been able to play against this one very often because I mostly play mono red or like when I was Marionia thing. Thank you for the follow. I mostly play mono red and I also do Satya, so a lot of Dockside shenanigans. So yeah, I'm sure if people saw me playing those decks, they didn't pull this deck out. But this is an interesting one. I think I really do like this one. That'd be a fun brew. I would love to see with the 2024 text. Like I said, y'all, we can talk about the loss, but there's like a lot of beautiful things that's gonna come from this like temporary time of no Dockside, no J-Lo, because this don't need J-Lo. I mean, it'd be cool because it helps to get it out faster on turn 1, but this is an interesting one. Let's see. They can make a comeback. I agree. It's not just about the gameplay Guy says it's not just about the gameplay when some decks are worth as much as cards. That's true. Once again, shout out to ThunderConductor Proxies. I provide proxies to the community because I just love the community and I want everybody to play, especially on my Discord. I tell people all the time, I don't want to go against your wallet. I want to go against your mind. However, I cannot get rid of the fact that people literally invested a lot of money into these cards because you felt security in knowing that, hey, my deck isn't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? They knew like, yeah, my deck isn't going anywhere. This is EDH, this is cEDH, my deck isn't going anywhere. And there are people who invested those money, especially because certain tournaments were not proxy friendly. So they couldn't bring their proxy list. They had to go out there and purchase the cards. And when, like, I can use, for example, like, let me see, hold on. So granted, some of the arts I'm using on these cards, like, for example, I have to preempt this. Like, this list says it's $3,265, but please note that the thing you have to worry is like with, let's change the switch printing. This version that I'm using the art of is not having a price attached to it. If you want a scrub land, this is $183 for, thank you for the follow. If you want a scrub land, that's $183 for the 30th edition, but no one's buying that. They're mostly probably buying the OGs. That's $334 for the revised. Like, this is a serious investment for these cards. So this list, that though it may be list for $3,300, we're talking closer to $5,000 to $10,000, and that is a used card. That literally is. So we got to be cognizant about that. And people invested that money because they felt secure that it was okay, that no matter what, the card price is going to be there because we use a lot of older legacy vintage-based cards, and that trust is a little tainted. But we'll see what Wizards say next. We have Zulu says, can't wait until they double back in November on their Dockside. I'm copying and see. I'm coping. Let's see. Bad Joke says, I just wanted to play Dargo. No! Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. The effect on Dargo, that's real. Zulu Zach says, so now the Dockside is gone. Can we see Food Chain return to the meta? Maybe. I feel like this is the time of experimentation. Like, honestly, like when we lost J-Lo and Mana Crypt, okay, that hurt. Big Commander is a lot harder to cast, but Dockside changed. This one changed the meta. So please don't be surprised. I kid you not. Please don't be surprised if like people are really trying new things or like old strategies that just never seemed viable. Let's see. We got Pablo said, what's good, TTC? What's up, brother? Let's see. Brain says, We play in a format that changes based on casual pods. Our laws are from the casual world. It's a wild thing. Yeah, that's why I said, like, this is why I said, going back to it, I'm not updating my red list right now, y'all. I'm like, give me a month to 3 months. Give me a month to 3 months. If by then there's no discussion over like a long-term plan for cEDH Rules Committee and people are like strategizing to make sure they do it right this time, then at that point you will get an update Satya list and update a Reonia list. But for the immediate future, I have faith that the cEDH is going to branch off. No hate to the casual community, but literally, if we're not going to be taken into consideration when bans are being done, there's nothing really else to talk about here. Let's see. Yep, Guy dropped the link. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. No problem, Guy. Let's see. What's up, Stella Smith? How you doing? We also have Jim Fusion says ban happen in other formats all the time. Don't see people throwing up arms as much as this. I was salty at first because I chased Dockside clips and jeweled in packs, only to have them mean nothing. That being said, I'm hyped to remodel decks, and now my Convoke deck might have legs now that things have slowed down. Very, very good point. We were talking to Jim Fusion about what commander was this? I got to refine this if it takes too long to find this. But Jim Fusion in the ThunderConductor Community, we were talking about a possible Convoke commander idea. And it was really cool because he was like not full blown Convoke tribal, but something that could be leveraged along that line. Oh my gosh. It's probably too far back. Jim Fusion, if you remember what the commander's name was, please drop it down below. Power Lord says, I think an issue is the other formats, the cards banned typically aren't as expensive as these are. So people are feeling the loss harder. Other formats all have 4-ofs, true, and could also be suddenness since other formats have set dates. True. These are very good points. Yeah. Kasla. Okay. Kasla. Let's see. Oh yeah. So this Kasla, the Broken Halo, 3 colors, Jeskai, Angel Ally. Convoking me. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell for 1 or 1 more mana than the creature's color. Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scry 2, then draw a card. So at first I was saying, oh, this commander is too expensive, but it has Convoke. This is an interesting one. Like I said earlier, I think this is something you just may want to just play around and brew with, because my biggest reason for when I was originally replying back to your messages was like, hey, yo, I don't know if this is going to be fast enough, especially when I'm thinking about my Satya list that's like a turn, really 3 to 4 deck and was really more turn 2. A lot of that was enabled by Dockside. But since you have the ability similar to like for Tasigur has a similar thing where you have a way to lower the casting cost of your commander, and it has a pretty big booty being 4 toughness, so it's not bolt range. This may be something you may wouldn't put time and energy into, and it's scry plus a draw. I say give it a go. I'm never gonna knock an idea before I see it. Let's see. Yeah, draw using tokens, dabs on a lot of cards that make anything convocable. Kona Big Flips is also a fun new deck. Kona Big Flips. Oh yeah, the Kona Rescue Beastie. This is just came out through the Descomorn set. Just another one that, y'all, honestly, I can do this all day, but this is an interesting one, especially because it's the beast survival. Survival at the beginning of your second main phase. If Kona Rescue Beasties is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So this is one where I'm like, okay, this is real dope. At first, there was a universe I was like, this may be too slow. Even if you can push it out turn 1 with JLo and Crypt or Soul Ring or whatever, not turn 1, but turn 1 to turn 2. You can maybe put out some heat on turn 2 to turn 3, but still is that winning the game before? Not as much now. Outside of worrying about Thassus, we may see like a more use of running Angel's Grace and other stifle effects to stop the Thassus like early wins, but this is interesting. Another one that's interesting, but I pretty much said everything I wanted to say about the commander ban and restricted announcement. Like I said, I'm not here to bash any individuals or any organizations, but I do want to say that I do, like, straight up, I don't feel like my community was represented. I don't feel like we were taken into consideration in these decisions. And at the end of the day, I am ready to explore and have fun. And in addition, I know this is just for a season. I know the cEDH Rules Committee is going to come out, and I support that. And I support whoever decides to do it. I just pray that y'all take your time when you do it. learn from our past, learn from what we just went through, and take your time. Don't rush it. Take your time. Let's get it done right, because we learned our lesson. So let's get it done right, and we're going to keep moving forward. If you're looking for more ways to support the show, we have a plethora. Everything from our ThunderConductor Proxy, the softest, smoothest merch on this side of the internet, to also our ThunderConductor Proxies. I just want to give you all a big shout out, like, for just being awesome and support the channel in so many ways. And this is my way to give back to the community. We also have the ThunderConductor Community. It is free to join. But if you want extra perks like first priority to get onto our gameplays, free proxies, promo codes, and all these amazing things, please check out the Thunder Legion. It is the #1 way to support the channel and to keep amazing content coming out just like this. And last but not least, if you say, AT, I don't want the Patreon, the proxies, or the merch, I just want to say one time with a fun time, I love what you do and I want to support you. Don't worry. Check the link out the bio. You can buy me a coffee. It keeps me up and keeps the lights on. But with that said, let's get straight into this Marnie's gameplay. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.